Well, hello again down there. It is now Tuesday afternoon, the 21st of April, and we are naturally home. We're thinking about going back to the lake on Thursday, I guess. We got in yesterday, shortly afternoon. We left up there about 8. I think we left, I had to yawn. I think we left Kemington about 8:30. We stopped there for breakfast at a little greasy spoon there right in past the stoplight. And I came home through Sleeper and checked the mileage, and it's exactly 5 miles further is all. And it sure is a lot better drive. It seems like it's a lot longer, but it's not. It's only 31 miles to the highway from the boat dock. And then up to where 7 comes in, it's about another 15 miles. But anyway, it's only 5 miles further, and I know you make that difference up in time because you can drive after you get off the highway. You can sail along 65 if you want to or more. In fact, it won't be long till it'll be 65 on the highway. But Missouri is lagging around. They haven't done anything about it yet. They still think they might go back to 70, what it used to be. So I don't know. They raised the gas tax 4 cents now, so that'll help. So anyway, your mother's outside. It's a nice day today. Yesterday broke a record for April. It was 89 degrees in St. Louis. And of course, when we got home, we turned the air on, and it was on most of the night. But today isn't quite as warm, but it's warm. I'm sure it's up close to 80. Sun is out bright. They had predicted rain, but it didn't do it. So this morning I went up to Baldwin and mailed another tape to you. And I don't know how I should have replayed it before I started on this one, because I don't know what I had told you about our doings on the last part of that tape. I don't remember. But if I already said it, excuse it, but then I cleaned 60-something crappie Sunday down there at the lake. And they were all nice crappie. There was not any of them little. So we brought back a whole bunch. And then they'll quit, just, you know how they are. They're getting ready to spawn. So it's happening, and you just throw that jig in there and get one right away. So everybody caught fish. Irv caught quite a few. And I don't think anybody caught as many as we did, but it was a lot of fun anyway. Let's see. I heard from Ken Hand now, and the audit on Nanny's estate is going to start next week, next Monday. And they want to know a couple things that we didn't have. They wanted a copy of her income tax return for the last 3 years. Of course, Schulthouse has had that. They didn't know. They have to know when she went in a nursing home. They're trying to determine when she gave up her house. And can you imagine, of all things, they are going on the assumption that everything was disposed of. In other words, they want to add that to the estate. And they can come down there any time they want. There hasn't been a thing taken out of that house, not one thing. Your mother traded her that big round table, but she took hers down there, so that's an even trade. But anyway, that's what they're trying to raise a stink about, and they're also gonna give us a bad time about the appraisal sale. I'm sure they're gonna want to up the appraisal. So anyway, we just might have to. Well, I know we're going to have to just go along with whatever it ends up, but we won't know that for some time. Ken Hand told me. I don't know whether I told you or not. I asked him how long that would take. He said anytime from 3 weeks to 4 years. And I said, well, it better not take 4 years. We don't want to be fooling around with this that long. So anyway, that's about all of that. Grandma's out there painting her statues white again. We got the lawn cut. He said he'd cut it Friday, so I told him to come back yesterday and cut it again. I don't know what that kid's thinking about. He's a new kid, you know. He must not have had his mower set down. I told him he didn't even have to pick up the cuttings because I wanted to leave it on there to cover up those bare spots who had new seed in them. But anyway, he came back again and cut it yesterday. And it does look better now. It's going to have to be cut again. This is Tuesday, and they've got so much junk on it that it's growing like you can almost see it grow. So, I don't know. Tomorrow, I guess I'll go get a haircut. And I might get the car washed the same day, Carol. Outside of that, the weather is about the only thing to talk about here. It is really gorgeous outside. And your weather, I guess, is getting into your winter. You probably got your heat on at night and your mattress pads and so forth. So that's the way it is. Sheila will be calling us tomorrow night, I guess. Said she'd call us on Wednesday. And I'm sure she got back all right to school. I haven't heard anything different. She had to be back yesterday on a Monday. Some of these kids around here had I think the parochial schools had a Easter Monday off, but I think Sheila had to be back Monday. So I guess they're getting antsy about their flight over there, Sheila and Brenda, and I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing them. So that'll be an interesting situation. So I guess maybe I'll just cut this off now. I didn't really have anything to say when I picked it up, but I thought I'd better talk in it. But I did mail you one yesterday, the 20th. I'll take it back. I mailed it this morning, 21st. So you should be getting that next week. So good things all around you and to you, and I'll be saying goodbye.
Well, good morning, kids. Today is Thursday, April the 23rd, and we are once again on our way to the lake. I guess you get tired of me telling you that, but this seems to be the spot for me to start the tape. And I think Daddy talked a little bit on it already because some of it's been used up. It's very noisy. The windows are open because it's warm this morning. It's not as warm as it has been. It's about 55, 56, I suppose. But it's not too bad. Daddy's getting gas here at the Shell station in Ellisville. And it's now 9:15. So we left the house and for the first time set our alarm system. So we're hoping that everything works all right. I've been carrying my jewelry box back and forth to the lake with me in the trunk, and I left it at home this time. So keep your fingers crossed that we've got it set right. It seemed to be okay, though. So anyway, I don't know a whole lot more. We were expecting to hear from Sheila last night, but she didn't call, so I guess she forgot it. It wasn't important. I just wanted to know how she was and if everything was okay. So we'll probably hear from her as soon as we get back in town next week. We're hoping to catch some more fish this week. I don't know if they're still up at the bank spawning, but excuse me, let's hope so. Well, I got up fairly early this morning, about before 7, 6:30. Had to get my shower and get everything done because I had to be at the beauty shop by 8 o'clock. So that's why we're not any earlier than we are in leaving. Of course, this is the normal time, maybe sometimes even a little later. Right now, my hair is quite short, and it doesn't take her long to do it. I guess in about 2 weeks I'll be getting a perm, and after that I want to get it frosted again. I don't know anything else to tell you right now. Nothing new has changed out in this neck of the woods. Everything seems to be looking the same. That new restaurant they're building over on the, let's see, it would be the southeast corner here of Clarkson and Manchester, where that old building stood. I understand that's supposed to be a new Augustino's restaurant, and it's 2-story and it's beautiful. It's got big pillars out. I thought it was a mortuary, but I was informed differently. But they have no sign out as yet, so who knows, maybe it'll change. Nothing else to tell you about right now. Daddy's getting ready to get back in the car here, so I'll shut this off for a little while and tell you some more about our weekend and the fishing and who all is down and all that good stuff. So I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye. Well, we are now almost down at the boat dock. It's 1:45. We made a couple stops, both rest areas and also at Ferris's, the fruit market. We just stopped and I picked up some apples and they were busy, so I had to wait in there a little while. But I wanted to tell you how beautiful the dogwood is right now. It started last week, and I don't think it's in full bloom yet, but it's more plentiful than Daddy and I have ever seen it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. That's all I wanted to put in for this time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Well, hello down there. This is Saturday morning. I'm sitting out on the dock with my back to the sun. And it's a nice morning. The sun's out bright. The temperature is just about 50 degrees, but it's supposed to go to 75 today. So that's good news for everybody. We just finished breakfast, had smokehouse ham and mush and a couple of eggs and coffee. So that ought to grab you pretty good. Yesterday was a beautiful day. We were up the Little Niangua with Irv and Teresa, and we tried fishing up there, but we didn't do any good fishing, but we had lunch up on the lake. I had my little electric grill. I guess I told you that I had it. It's not really very big, but it's really a good little thing. And we took it on the boat and did some bratwurst and had potato chips and a beer, and it was real nice. We were drifting out in the middle of the Little Niangua up there where it makes that big bend. Coming back, I had a disaster. I crash landed the boat. We were coming into the slip, and the wind was blowing a little bit, but that wasn't a factor. But just as I got the nose just starting in, my port engine died, and it just glided to the right and sheared one of those big posts off up there. It didn't hurt the boat, just marred up the bumper part on the front a little bit, but the railing has got a little crack in one of the feet, but it really was terrible. And there wasn't a thing you could do about it because I had already entered the slip, just starting in, and the left engine just died completely. That made the boat just go to the right. So anyway, they're gonna paint it up and fix it up. I don't know what they'll do about the post. I guess they'll charge me $900 or something. But anyway, that's one of those things that happens when you got toys. But now if I'd have been half crocked or something, I'd have had an excuse, but I didn't have any excuse yesterday. Well, it wasn't my fault anyway, but there wasn't anything I could do about it. So anyway, that's one of those things. Miners are here. Nobody's up stirring around much. It's 8:30. The Browns are here. And going up the line, Susan and Larry and the boys are here. And of course Greg and Gene are here, and Petersons are here. And that's about all on the dock. So Mr. Miner's coming out. I'm going to have a little talk with him, and I'll get back to you. Well, the guy just got here to take care of the engine, see if he can get it tuned up. Just a minute, Grandma wants something. I just came back from going up to the cave, which we call it still, and the new restrooms are open now, and they are just like Holiday Inn's restroom. If they can stay that way, it'll be wonderful. So I just wanted to report to you that they have accomplished that now. If it can stay that way, why, it'll be great. They've still gotten the hillside up there torn up, putting that pool in, but all the digging and the clay and the rocks, it looks like the devil now, but I imagine it'll all come out when things get better. So I'll get back to you just a little bit later. I may record the cocktail hour this afternoon for you. We'll see. So I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Hello, you guys down there. We are cleaning up after supper. Sheila and Kathy, one of the twins, were here, are still here, and we're going over up to Panahoff to take a sunset ride. And Jake is looking for us right now. He's out here wanting us, and the coffee is just about ready, and you know, we have to bring our own coffee. So we're going to get going. I think I'll take this tape along so that you can...
Jake, I'm waiting on the coffee. I'm waiting on the coffee.
Okay.
Is it okay?
It's all right.
Jake said it's okay. So I'm going to take this tape along, and we will keep you posted on the way.
It's on 6 now. It's got 2 more cups through. I'll be right there.
So goodbye.
It's been in our family room for 7 years. But we don't have a family room anymore.
But I noticed when last weekend that I saw that.
You can talk now. Anita.
The problem we had,
I thought he brought
the only problem we had
I
was,
thought I was supposed to listen to the Golden Girls on it.
we have it tied down with a chain.
I have a fish line in the back of mine.
You've got me now, kids. We are just leaving the marina, and we're on Jake and Jean's boat. And it's very noisy, as you can probably hear. Sheila and her, the other twin, Kathy, I think her name, are here, and they're up on the top deck. And I just spilled half of my drink on Teresa's shoe. And Babe, you remember Babe, Larry and Susan's dog, she's licking it up, so she's going to get loaded probably. Anyway, we're out for a sunset cruise. It's beautiful this evening. It really is lovely. And Grandpa wanted everybody to talk, but I'm the only one that's talking. He said I should set it on the table and let everybody listen up to the... Well, why don't you drink out of your shoe?
You want to drink out? Would they like the joke about the lady taking the survey, or wouldn't they like that?
I don't know.
They heard it and they don't get it. They don't get it. To me,
that
they
was
were there.
funny.
You like it. You know.
Okay, Anita is going to tell you a joke. Since we have a lot of tape here, Carol and Mike. Carol and Mike.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this lady taking the survey?
Oh, no, wait, I'm gonna give this to Anita because she's gonna tell you a story right now. Here she goes.
This lady was taking a...
You have to speak up.
Okay, this lady was taking a survey.
Speak into the thingy.
It'll pick it up. It'll pick it up.
Not really.
Oh, won't?
There's too much noise.
Too much noise. You zero in on the decibels of my voice alone. You will only respond to my voice.
Oh, dear.
Sleep. Okay, here we go. There was a survey, and this woman was going from door to door. So she goes, "Howdy, ma'am." She said, "I'm taking a survey here." She says, "I need to know what kind of birth control you use." She says, "Oh, well," she says, "I'm on the pill. I've been on the pill for several years." She says, "Thank you very much." Wrote it down. Went on. She goes to the next house. Hello, ma'am. She says, I'm taking a survey. Would you please tell me what kind of birth control you use? She says, oh, well, I'm Catholic. She says, I use the rhythm method. I've been using that for years. She says, thank you very much. So she writes that down, and she goes to the third door. She goes, now, here comes to the door this. Now, I'm using my hands. You're going to have to visualize this. This buxom blonde, kind of hard-looking gal, big, tall woman, hunk of a woman. And she said, yes. And the woman says, well, ma'am, I'm conducting a survey. And she says, I'd like to know what kind of birth control you use. She says, oh. She says, well, my husband and I, we use the bucket and saucer method. And she says, bucket and saucer? She says, I've never heard of that before, so I don't understand. She says, how does that work? She says, well, my husband's shorter than I am. She's a lot shorter, so he stands on a bucket. And when his eyes get big as saucers, I kick the bucket out from under him.
He doesn't understand that. I think that's the funniest thing I can see.
You understand that story? Well, Teresa did not quite understand it, and I don't think I did the first time, but I do now. So anyway,
I think he's shorter than she
we're now right. Jean is now explaining this story to Teresa. We're getting silly right now, but anyway, she doesn't understand this story. I'm sorry. Anyway, we wanted to tell this story to Sheila and her friends, but we could not think how it went, and so needless to say, they didn't hear it, and they are up on the top. But anyway, we're having a beautiful ride right now. We're going out into the main channel right now. It's going to be a sunset cruise, so it got very lovely this afternoon, and we did catch some fish. Grandpa and I cleaned 14 this afternoon, so we have some more crappie to take home this week. And they're all nice size. They're keeper crappie. They're all loaded with eggs, so you know they are spawning. So I'll cut this off right now. The weather is getting... the weather's not rough. It's just bumpy a little bit, so wind's blowing. Anyway, we love you, and we're thinking of you, and we're not going home until Monday, so I'll get back to you sometime tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hi there, strangers. How are you? Well, it's Sunday, the 25th. Is that correct? I don't know. I think it's the 25th. 24th or the 25th. Haven't seen the calendar. Kathy Ramsey and I drove down yesterday morning. I think I told you that when I talked to you on Friday. And Brenda came down in the afternoon, and we had a beautiful day. We laid in the sun, and Panahoffs took their boat out last night for a little sunset cruise. It was a little cool, though. And what else? I don't know if anybody told you this. Kathy and I, we were all organized, and since I didn't call Grandma and Grandpa on Wednesday like I told them I would, they didn't know what my plans were. So I told Kath, well, they usually have steaks on Friday night or Saturday night. We'll pick up a couple of steaks and bring our own baked potatoes, and things will be fine. So we got up about 6 and packed our little cooler, and I didn't even look in the freezer. I just grabbed the white package, which I thought was 2 fillets we bought, and came down here, and it was hamburger. So everybody got a big joke out of that. So Kathy and I went back to the store and picked up 2 more fillets.
The other gals are having fillets and tacos.
So, yeah, that's it. I said, it was Michelle and Michelle's hamburger, I suppose. And I said, with our luck, their luck, they'll want to have tacos on Saturday night and get those 2 bacon-wrapped fillets out. We'll probably have to take them to the butcher and grind them up or something. I don't know. Be awful expensive tacos. So let's see. Oh, Mom, Dad, Kathy and I went to bed last night at 9 o'clock. I think that's a sign of age. I'm not sure. No, nobody made us. We were just tired. And Friday night, I told you Jenny got a job in Springfield, and she was leaving in Springfield, Illinois, and she was going to leave for Springfield on Sunday. So Brenda and I and Jenny and Steve went to this nightclub called Rumors. And I might have said something to you about that before. But anyway, it's $3 or $4 to get in, but if you get there before 9 o'clock, it's free to get in. So we got there, we all got ready, and we got there about 5 minutes to 9, so we got in free. And, excuse me, I was drinking water all night long, and Brenda was just drinking Coke, and Jenny and Steve, I think, had a couple of drinks. And you hear the ball game in the background. But anyway, we were drinking water and weren't having that great of a time, and 11 o'clock rolled around, and we all said, gosh, we're kind of tired. You guys ready to go? It must be my age. I don't know. I get tired so early now. Is that what happens to you guys? Anyway, today Kathy and I slept until about 9 o'clock and we bought some donuts yesterday, so we brought those down, and Grandma made a few pieces of bacon for us and some orange juice. So, and then we were just sitting around talking, and they have a new little boutique up the way, you know, where the other one used to be, and looking at some swimming suits there, and I found a really cute one, and Grandma said that she'd buy it for me, and I thought that was real nice. But it's a real cute suit. It's a two-piece, but it's getting, sometimes if you get too close to it, it distorts it. So anyway, it's a two-piece swimming suit, and the top of it's real. It fits me real well on the top, and it has a little strap that goes around. And I'm making hand signals on how it goes around, and you can't see that, and Grandpa's making fun of me. And the bottom of it is a little skirt, Mom. It's like a full skirt with little pleats. I'm showing you. Can you see me showing you? It kind of goes a little bit above my knees, and maybe a little bit more than that. I said it's like a pleated skirt Grandma had in high school. But anyway, it's really cute, and I thought it'd be cute for Fiji, and I could just throw a T-shirt on over it and a pair of slip-on shoes or something. So, and it's small enough that it'll save space. But it's real cute. And I was real surprised that they bought it. You know, I didn't expect that at all. I have some birthday money from Grandma, and if I liked it I could have spent that on it. But anyway, I think this afternoon the windsock's hanging kind of straight, leaning a little bit to the left, but we might take the boat out this afternoon. Kath and I guess we'll leave sometime early evening or something like that. So anyway, I don't know if I know anything else. I told you I got an A on my debate presentation. I was a nervous wreck, but there was strictly arguing, so I argued the facts, and I'm pretty good at arguing anyway, so I got a 90% on that, so I'm excited. My two classes that I'm probably borderline BC are photography and my listening class, and listening isn't just sitting down and listening. There's a lot of busy work he's having us do and stuff. So working on those, my countdown sheet says 25 days today, and I got so much to do in these next 25 days, I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in. So, and I got to move into a different apartment again. I don't know if I told you that, because my two roommates, Michelle and Michelle, would like to move over to the B building in our apartment complex, so I got to move all that crap again. And I said, I'm almost willing to take potluck and get 3 new roommates, but Kathy's shaking her head no, that she doesn't think that'd be a good idea, and I don't think that'd be a good idea anyway, probably either. It's just another thing I had to do on my list, but they all offered to help me, so that's nice. Grandma's up there fishing. Fishing last week was real good, but yesterday they caught, I think, 14, so that wasn't too bad, but they're not hitting too good today. Maybe it's a little too warm or something, I don't know. Grandpa said they got 6. Oh, 6 between 2 people. So Panahoffs went home early today. Jean's got she said today she's dancing for the Jewish war. Grandpa, tonight she's dancing for the Jewish war veterans. You know, she does that little thing, kind of like the Sweet Adelines, like Mrs. Hall does. Well, hers is on the dancing end of it. So they went home early today, and I think miners are leaving. They're packing up to go, and Grandma, and I think Irvin, Teresa, and maybe Petersons are going to stay. I don't know. So, but I think Anita Peterson talks more than I do, and that's an awful lot. Grandpa's putting his hand in front of his face. Jeez. So, anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say. Oh, when we were laying in the sun yesterday, okay, we'll let Kath say hi too. Kate, that's what her name is, Kate. You know, we can't call them by their names. We got to give them a nickname. So anyway, we can't go out. They're gonna. well, we were going to go out on the boat today, but we can't go out because they're going to weld the pole that the boat hit the other day when the engine died. But what was I going to tell you? Oh, we were dangling our feet. We were dangling our feet in the water yesterday, and it's only about 55 degrees, so I can't imagine me ever being in the water on April 25th, but I knew I'd been in way before that. It just seems awful cold. So I haven't been by the house. I don't know if Karen and Gary are down or not. So I was hoping if we took a boat ride today, we'd take it down that way so I could see what was going on down there. But they're going to weld, so we might not get to go. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say. I love you both, and I can't wait to get there. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Mom and Dad. Oh, we're just coming underneath the Niagara Bridge. And we're looking at Gregory's. It used to be the Rose Garden. You know that Greg Panhoff is doing his thing with the restaurant business now. He sold his boat yesterday, so I guess he's putting 110% up at the restaurant. But it should be nice. I don't know about the parking situation, but it should be nice. And here we come around the corner to the house, and looks like everything's intact. I don't see Karen and Gary's big boat on in the slip. I guess, but I don't see a truck up there either, so I don't know what. Maybe they're got the boat in the shop or something. I don't know. I see Greg. Honk your horn. It looks like there's Greg. Yeah, I guess you just heard the blowhorn. So, well, it doesn't look like Karen and Gary are here, though. Sorry about that. The tape ran out and you got a little bit of silence there, but I was looking at something else. Like I said, I didn't see Karen and Gary's boat in the slip, but it doesn't look like anybody's around, so maybe something's wrong with it and it's up at Chuck's, or he hadn't put it in. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't talked to him, so. But it looked like everything with the house was good and the dock was in good shape and everything. So it sure is a beautiful day. I think the high today is supposed to be 84. Lots of boats on the lake, and we passed by the 3 buoys over here on the right. I'm sure you know that they're putting the houseboats and all that kind of thing for vacations, and they sure are pretty. They're a clone of each one of them. I think that looks like there's about 50 of them there. But I sure wouldn't want to have to dock one of them because it looks like they're tied up next to each other, and if I didn't have any boating experience, I wouldn't want to put a 52-foot boat in a little tiny slip like that. But I guess they'll have their share of damages and learn their lesson, or maybe it'll work out great. If it does, I'm sure they're going to make a whole lot of money. So everything's green down here. It's a dogwood festival this weekend, and Mom, I know how much you like the dogwoods. They sure are pretty. And yesterday there was a big fair in town with a bunch of craft shows and a parade at 2 o'clock. So we didn't go to that. We were soaking up the sunshine, as usual, trying at least. So don't have any time to lay in the sun at school. Too much going on, so. But I just wanted to give you a little update since I know how much you guys love for us to do that. It makes you so jealous when we go by the house. So, but soon enough you'll be here too. So sure do miss you guys. I love you both. Bye-bye. Hi, Mom and Dad. I just wanted to say goodbye. It's about, I guess about 25 after 6, and Kathy and I are going to hit the road. I took a swim today. Todd New and I made a bet, and I guess I lost. I bet him that he wouldn't go in the water, and he did. So I followed him because I didn't want him to show me up or anything. So the water wasn't too bad, but I wasn't in too long either. A couple of seconds probably at the most. But I didn't let you down. I went right in after him. But it was fun, and it wasn't too terribly cold. He had taken us for a ride, Kathy and I and Greg and Sharon and another guy that's helping Greg with his restaurant, and then Greg's little girl Shannon took us all out for a ride, went way up past Tantera up at Tuckett's where they usually go for happy hour or something like that. So we rode up there and turned around and came back. So I was pretty warm, so the water wasn't too bad. But I wanted to say goodbye, and I love you both, and Kathy and I are on the road, and we should probably be back by about 8 o'clock. So I love you guys, and 25 days and counting. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.
Well, hello from St. Louis County, Manchester, Missouri. You always start yours out hello from Australia, so I thought I'd give it to you back this time. We are now home from the lake. It's Monday afternoon, the 27th of April, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon. We were very pleased when we got home. We had a tape from you, and after the mail came, we had another tape from you. So that's quite a record, getting two in the same day, but apparently the other one came maybe Saturday or Friday. But anyway, I did take a few notes on your tape, if I can read what I put down here. First of all, I wanted to tell you I didn't do anything at all about that port as yet. I found some port here that I like. It's not nearly as smooth as the one that you have over there, but it's either Taylor or Gallows, either one, and it's all right. I don't mind it at all. And you also asked about the wallpaper. I went down to the place where I bought the paper, and there's a special tube of glue that is made especially for our seams that are not holding. So it's got a very fine head on it that you can pull the paper back a little bit and put it in there, and it dries immediately, and it's just holding beautifully. So I'm glad to know that, because I do have another seam up higher that is not real tight, but I didn't want to pull it apart until I found out for sure if this was going to hold or not. And on those earrings, Carol, if you think that they're worth the money, keep them for me and tell me exactly how much they are, and I will send a check with Sheila, or money, or whatever, however you want me to handle that. We do have our alarm in, and it seems to be working just fine. They're gonna, I don't know what they're doing when the new doors come. They haven't arrived as yet, or at least we haven't been home long enough to find out if they're even here yet. But I think they'll come back then, and the wiring is all in for them, so all they have to do is do it. And we too, Mike, have a computer by our back door, a little computer that you punch in the numbers to set the thing. When you go out the door, you press it, and then you have 45 seconds to open your door and get out of the house, and it's activated. Same way coming in, you open the door and you have 45 seconds to shut the alarm off. So it works out real fine so far, and I think we told you we took very simple numbers. We took Daddy's birthday, 2-4, and we took mine, 2-7. So our number is 2427, so very simple. And then, of course, there is another emergency number that if the alarm goes off, that when they call, you have to give them a code number. And ours is very simple again. It's H400, so we shouldn't have any trouble with that. Now, down at the dock, there's new restrooms down there. Of course, they're already out of order. They had putting new lines in someplace. They poked a hole in the septic tank or something. I don't know. The shower was running over. But the doors there are also computerized. And you have to poke in 241 to get in the restrooms now. Getting back to your golf game, Carol, it sounds like you had quite an interesting one with that cat story. It's so weird, it almost has to be true. So I know you wouldn't tell me a fib, but Daddy's curious how a cat could hold that ball in its mouth. But I guess he did it. Big cat, he said. Let's see, next note. I know I'm rattling this off pretty fast here, but I don't know how much tape I've got left on this side. The search was called off on that David John Brown now. Whatever his name is. What's his name?
Well, just the opposite of what
Oh, John David Brown. Okay. Anyway, whatever it is, Daddy said I always say it backwards. You know who I'm talking about. The police were not out in Rolla this weekend as we went out, and therefore the rest areas are now open again, which made us nice. I think he's been long gone for quite some time now. And I will get that beer bread recipe out for you. I know I have one down at the lake also, but I'm thinking that I should have one here at home. I hope so, because I'd like to get this tape in the mail before well, maybe tomorrow or the next day for sure. Your trip over the Easter holiday sounded great. Sounded like you really had a good time, and we thoroughly enjoyed both these tapes. They had a lot of good stuff that you've been seeing and doing, and sounded real good. You're mistaken about the Jean story, Carol. I did get it right away and got a big laugh out of it. It was quite funny. The other story, I can't even remember what it was now. Apparently I didn't get it so good. What was it, Jack? Do you remember? No. He doesn't remember now either. The river trip sounded exciting. I can't imagine that anybody'd be that dumb, but I guess there are people that stupid that would be on the wrong side of the river. And those boats you were talking about up there at Sharps, they do have 2 gas tanks, or pumps.
The boats don't have gas.
2, she knows what I'm talking about. He's always correcting me. There's 2 gas pumps out there now, and I think they are in operation. I was asking Kelly, our little owner's wife down at our dock, I said, they must not supply gas up there or have gas. She said, yes, they do have, but she said they just did get them hooked up. She said that's why the boats, we've been seeing a few boats coming down to our marina to get gassed up. And we had thought at first maybe our gas was cheaper than up there, but I don't believe so. She said that they just didn't have the gas hooked up there at that time. You told us about that bar. That sounds interesting, and about how many glasses and everything they kept frosted, but you didn't say how long the thing was. I can't quite visualize 90-something spigots, but I guess, I don't know. You'll have to tell us how long it was. I'm sure you know. Let's see, what else now? Oh, and you spoke about those wine cooler things that they have a spigot and they put in the refrigerator. We do have those here. You pull that thing out and the bag collapses inside as the wine goes down. Deerbergs have been carrying those now for quite some time. I think that's about all of the notes that I took on this thing. Daddy's probably got something to say here. I will, Sheila got a note from school, from her, wait, let me look at it here. What is that? I'm holding things up here. From the Loan Authority, Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority, so I'm just going to forward it to her because I don't really know when I'll see her. She didn't know if she'd get back down to the lake or if she wouldn't be home until after school was out.
She doesn't know she came to the lake.
And, yes, she does. And also you got something here from Kirchhoff, it looks like. So I'm going to enclose it in this envelope with this tape. And it looks like an invitation of some sort, so I guess that means another gift of some sort, too. Well, I'll get off of here for now. It's almost cocktail time here, and we're going to have a drink. I started to do laundry, but I didn't get very far with it because we've been listening to your tapes all afternoon. But that's better than doing laundry anyway. So, give our love to that new little baby over there and Mother and Daddy. I know they're enjoying their company. Of course, the company's probably gone by now. You said it was Steve's parents, I believe. But I guess that it was nice to have them anyway for just such a little while. And I guess by the time you get this tape, Georgine will probably be headed back home. I don't have any idea how long she was going to stay. But if Kevin's getting his thing May the 9th, well, I'm sure she's going to be home by that time. So I'll let you go. I don't know if Sheila told you or not, but we couldn't find any socks for you, Mike. So I guess you're just going to have to go barefoot or sockless or whatever you want to call it. So I'll let you go. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, hello from me now. Your mother just talked just a few minutes, and she's looking up that recipe, I guess. I think she just about answered all the questions or notes that she had from your tapes. You didn't really ask very many questions, but getting back to those boats up there, we do have some pictures that we taken from our houseboat, and of course they're not going to be close-ups, so you may not be. I haven't had them gotten them back yet. In fact, I still got one picture in the camera to take. So anyway, the only thing that's going to be hard for me to imagine, if they're full, completely booked, as you say in Australia, for July the 4th, it will be very interesting to see 75 of those boats on the lake. And we did count 75 this week. That's what they have there. The time when I took those pictures and prior things that we've said, they only had about 40 or 50, but they do have 75 of them there now. You spoke, Mike, about that. I didn't know what the horsepower was of that engine, but it's a 4-cylinder Volvo. And I'm sure they didn't want to put big engines in them because of the damage that they could do if they didn't learn their lesson on the 1 hour little thing that they give them. We maybe didn't make it clear to you, but we understand that if you rent one of those boats for a week, whether you have 10 people or 2 people, it doesn't make any difference. You do not come back to that marina until your week's up. You cannot come in there and stay. You cannot come in there for gas. You can't come in there for water. You have to do with what is on board or get someplace else. They are not, in other words, they're not a marina like we know a marina. They are a place like you would rent a car. And when you want to turn it in, that's when you come back. So we don't know what they're going to do when they run out of water. They probably, with that size engine, have plenty of gas, because I understand they have big tanks on there. But you may think about having a big sign made, water for sale for houseboats, and put it out in where they can see it on top of your dock, because that's one thing that there probably 10 people are going to run out of, because there are 2 showers on there, and you know you use a lot of water for the johns and everything else. And I don't know the the capacity of those boats on water, but I know our boat, with just the 2 of us on it this week, I filled it up Thursday when I got down there, and last night, around supper time, I guess, I ran out of water. Now, of course, we don't try to conserve or anything, because we have plenty. All we have to do is walk out on the front and take the hose back there and turn it on. So, but we did. We ran out of water. And so I don't know what they're going to do about that. As far as gas, they can stop and buy gas any place, but they just can't pull up someplace and say, I want water. So anyway, that's going to be an interesting thing. Another thing interesting, I don't know whether you thought about it or not, but if they put 10 people on each on 75 boats, that's quite a few. Where are if each couple brings a car, where in the world are they going to park for a week? Well, anyway, I was just bringing up some things that the boats also do not have but one bedroom that has a door on it. The rest is like an army barracks. So I guess the captain sleeps in it, and the rest of them open up day beds or whatever's in there. I don't know. But it is, sometime we will get up there and go through one of them. Carol, your mother did go through one. Her and Jake went through one, but I wasn't with them. So anyway, that's about enough of that, I guess. I don't know too much about it. I know I had a problem this week, and as I already told you on this tape about knocking that post off, I really didn't do too much damage to the boat. I really wasn't going very fast, but you know, our boat is heavy, and all it's got to do is hit that post at the right angle, and bang, it's off. So anyway, that's not too big a deal. Worse things can happen. I went out a little later and came in real good, so I restored my confidence, if you know what I mean. Well, Sheila and that Kathy wanted to go for a ride, so it just almost was been terrible to send them back without getting a ride. So I don't know what else I'm going to talk about this afternoon. I guess nothing. I didn't take anything out for supper, so I guess I'll run down to Kentucky Fried maybe and get us a 3-piece dinner each. Come back and feast on it. How does that sound? I don't think there was anything else. I don't think we're going to have any trouble with this security system because the only thing we might do sometime is come back in and forget to punch it, you know. And then the phone will ring, so, and then we tell them the other number, H400, which we ought to be able to remember that, and tell them it was a mistake, and then that way they don't dispatch the police. So that's that. This one has also got an alarm on it, separate from the computer numbers, that if you need the police without going through their computer thing down there at their office, you can just press that button. Or if you need an ambulance, you can press it. Or if you need the police and you want to, it's a panic button you can press. In other words, it doesn't even take time to go through their central office. It just gets you the ambulance or the police or the fire engine. And so I think it's one of the better ones, and I'm sure there were cheaper ones, but if you're going to do it, you know us. We'd probably do it right. So I don't know. I'm going to see how many clicks I got, Mike, and then I'll get back to you a little later. Bye-bye. It's me again. No more news except that the phone just rang and Carl Beasley's in town and his wife, and they want us to go to dinner with about the whole crew that used to bum with Gates and Otto Miller and us and Woody Roberts, Jerry Broman, Charlie and Goldie, and they're going to go to Jeremiah's tomorrow night. And so we told them we would go, which it's nice of them to give us a holler when they come in town. Mike, I wanted to clear you up on the 65-mile-an-hour speed limit. It has been given to each state to do their own thing, and most of them are going to raise their limits to 65 out of the metropolitan area. As soon as it gets out of the 50,000 population area, they can, if they want to, raise it to 65. Illinois is changing theirs the 1st of May, which is next week. Missouri is still talking about what they're going to do. They had a resolution made back when it was in the 70s, when it went to 55, that if it ever went back, they would go back to 70 miles an hour, just what it was when it was taken away. So they are trying to decide now whether or not they will put automobiles to 70, trucks to 60, or maybe 65, and when they're going to do it, they don't know. So we don't know what Missouri is going to do, but some places out west, like Idaho and Montana, where it's very desolate, New Mexico, have already put their signs up and they're already moving. But 65 is going to be up to each state to do what they want to do, but they will not be restricted to 55 anymore, except in populated areas. So that's what it is. Each state's going to do his own thing. So as you travel across the country, you better keep looking at the signs. I don't think I know any more on that. The reason, I guess, is that Missouri has just passed a new 4 cent a gallon increase on the gasoline tax. So they want you to use a little more gas because our gasoline is going to go up 4 cents a gallon in Well, I don't know the date. It hasn't gone up yet. It might be June or July. I don't know exactly when it is, but it'll be up by the time you get home anyway. So you keep your thoughts open about getting that water sign on your dock down there, and I'll get back to you a little later. Bye-bye. Well, hello down there. We enjoyed your phone call this morning. I'm going to try to use up a little of this tape. Grandma's in to see Dr. Ernst, and she'll be back here by 1 or 1:30, I guess. Then we're going to the store and do our weekly shopping and get the car loaded up to leave in the morning, go back to the lake. It seems like we're just home a couple days, and bingo, we're gone again. But I guess that's what we strive to do when we retired, so that's what we're doing. The fella is finishing up our doors, and they look very nice. Everything fits. We ordered the dark brown like the storm doors, and it looks better than the silver, and it looks real good. So that's taking care of that. Now I got to call the burglar alarm guys and tell them to come up and check the contacts on this storm door, on the sliding glass doors. He put those switches back on, but they've got to check them to see that they're touching. You know, it's magnetic, and if they'd be just a little off, it would leave an opening, and that wouldn't work. So he did put them back on, but I didn't ask him to, but he did anyway. He said he'd be a nice guy and do it, so I guess they appreciate it. Maybe they won't. They had stuck them on with silicone. They didn't have them put on with screws, but he screwed them in there. So anyway, I've got to call them and let them check it out before I turn the thing on, or else it's liable to get the neighbors up tomorrow. So, let's see, I don't know. Oh, you mentioned on the tape that you guessed that I had my little dent all straightened out. Well, I really haven't done it yet. Not for any reason. It came out to $184, and I have $200 deductible. So it's really cost me $184, and I'm going to take it up to Cadillac maybe today before we go to the lake, and set a time for next week and let them do it while your mother was. Maybe I told you on this tape. I'll apologize if I did, but while your mother was up at Buick with her car, I had them give me an estimate, and they were $3 difference, and Allstate had said they would allow. So, but then I found out I had $200 deductible, so that shot that down. So anyway, I didn't know anything else to tell you. Sheila had talked to you from the lake and from the boat and all that stuff, so whatever is on that I'm saying on this tape, she may have already told you, because I wasn't listening to her when she was recording. By the way, this little recorder that you gave us has really been nice. We really enjoyed it. So I'm going to let Grandma finish this up when she gets home, and we'll get it in the mail when we go by the post office just before we get to the Shell station tomorrow morning. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Goodbye.
Well, good afternoon. You now have me. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. I just got back from the doctor's about 20 minutes ago. I had a very good report. Nothing wrong with me. He can't, he gave me the pap smear and the breast feelings and all that good stuff. But he did say that he thought it was necessary at my age that I have a mammogram made. He said he's recommending that for all of his patients now. So I went right downstairs and made an appointment, and I'm having that done next Tuesday, May the 5th, at 10 o'clock in the morning. And Daddy has a doctor's appointment at 12:45 next Tuesday. So we're going to get that all taken care of, but it didn't work out that we could go in together because of that lab place is closed from 12 to 1, so that took care of that. Anyway, nothing else is new except that Daddy did take his car up to the Cadillac place, and they gave him an estimate. How much, Jack? $95, so that's quite a saving. So he made an appointment for next week to have that taken care of. So once again, the car will be in A1 shape. We're sitting here waiting for the alarm people to call us right now. We were told that they had to come back to put the alarm on the new door, but Daddy said the man that was here put it back on just the way it was, and it seems to be working fine. So we've called the central office, and they're checking it out to make sure. Otherwise, they're going to come tomorrow, but they didn't want to get here till 10 o'clock, and we don't want to sit here and wait. Well, that's not right, he said, but whatever. It would be 10 o'clock because they're never on time anyway. So let me check this thing here and see how much I've got left on it. Daddy said he talked quite a bit, and he didn't know how much is left. Hold on. Well, there's just a little bit left on here. I don't know when you talk about clicks. Anyway, we're going to go to the grocery store. That's what we're waiting on now. We were going to put the thing on, and so we thought we'd better check it out first. We've got to get a few things to take to the lake tomorrow, and then we'll be all set to go. So in case I do shut off, well, I remember we love you, and we're sure looking forward to you getting back home again. And we're going to stop and pick up some more tape. I don't have any more tapes here, and I think I only have 1 or 2 mailers left. So we'll pick up another 3 tapes at Walmart on our way out. We have to stop, and we'll stop at where is that, Sullivan, Jack? And pick up some lures too. We're about out of those in case the fish should start to pick up again, which I hope they do. I think we told you we're having fish for supper tonight, so that's always good. I don't know what we're going to have with it, but we'll pick up something at the store. We've been shopping mostly now over at Schnucks over here at 141. We both seem to like that store quite a bit. I think they might even be a little bit cheaper than Deerberg's, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off for now and check again, see how much I've got left. Bye-bye. Well, the alarm people just called back and said that they don't show that we're even hooked up down there, so we're going to have to wait here in the morning till they get here and see what happens. By the way, it sure was good to talk to both of you this morning, although I'm sure we kind of edged Mike out a little bit, or I did, but he knows that everything I say includes him too, so we're going to run on now and get to the store because I'm not going to talk anymore on this because I don't think there's that much left on it anyway. So when you hear me say goodbye, well, you'll know the darn thing is over with. We love you. Bye-bye.